Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a full moon collective reading for this full moon in Leo that is going to be happening on February the 5th, 2023. So if you clicked on this video, then there is definitely some messages here for you. Again, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest. If a message don't seem like it applied to your life or your situation, just simply leave the message where it is and do not force any messages that don't resonate with you. If this is your first time on my channel, I am Kiera. Hello, how are you? I hope you are having an amazing 2023 so far. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get straight into this reading because you already know why you're here and you know why you clicked on the video. So let's go ahead and get into these messages for you for this full moon in Leo that's happening on the 5th. As you know, or if you aren't familiar with full moons or new moons, you can literally feel the energy of the full moon or new moon a few days before and after the actual full moon occurs. So hence why you're probably watching this video a couple days before the actual full moon. All right, so we are going to be going in, of course, with the Moonology Oracle deck because I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks to use. I am going to soon be purchasing the other Moonology Oracle deck that is by, I believe it's by Yasmin Bolin as well. I'm actually going to be purchasing that one as well. For some reason, I'm just like super connected with these the Moonology Oracle decks. If you watch any of my videos, you probably see me use these a ton. So this is why I do love these this oracle. But let's go ahead and get into your reading. So the first card we have is going to be Full Moon in Pisces. This is balance, spirituality, and practicality. I feel like I say that word wrong every single time, but that is what the first card we have. So just getting to the start of your reading, I feel like you guys are going to be releasing control and finding a balance between your spiritual life and your practical life, as it says in the cards. So let's get into some more cards to see exactly what this full moon in Leo is going to have in store for you. Also, I like to note that this full moon is in the sign of Leo, and I always like to make a note that the full moon is going to affect you different depending on where the moon is at in your birth chart. So if you are a Leo rising, the moon is going to be in your first house. If you are a let's say you are a Virgo rising, the moon will be in your 12th house. So just depending on where you are, where your rising sign is will determine the house that Leo can have an effect on your personal life. But again, these are going to be messaged for the collective. So I just always like to state the fact that a lot of times with the moon, because the moon is a part of astrology, I always like to include that it will also determine, it can also change depending on the house that is in for you and all things like that and other aspects in your birth chart. So you may or may not experience exactly these things. But this is, a general tarot reading, but I always like to throw in some astrology there as well. But the next card we have is New Moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. So there's a lot of Pisces energy here. So a lot of you may be Pisces. Just the first two cards already are both Pisces cards, so a lot of water energy. We have the full and the new moon. There's two Pisces cards in this entire deck, and both of them came out, the first two cards in your reading. So there's a lot of Pisces energy here, a lot of water energy. But also, like with meditate and contemplate, I feel like there's going to be some drawbacks and some sit downs with yourself that you're going to have to find this balance in your life, in your spiritual and practical life. You're going to have to sit back, meditate, and figure out what solutions you need to overcome, or not even just solutions, just figuring out what is best for you and how can you implement these balances or this balance into your life. It's going to take some, like, a step back basically. And like with the new moon, I feel like it's going to be a fresh start once you get, I feel like with the full moon, you're going to take a bigger, like, how can I say, like a bigger picture kind of thing. Like you're going to take a look at it with a bigger picture, like looking at it from a different angle. And then with the new moon, you're going to come in with this fresh new perspective on everything and how you can move accordingly. Basically, I hope that makes sense. And then we have communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So I feel like with this card, with communication is key, I feel that this full moon, I feel like either you're going to be communicating with someone about, I wouldn't say issues, but there's going to be some communication happening for you this full moon that's going to give you more clarity, or some communication that you may even need to have with yourself or with someone else. And you're going to have to take a step back and, think about the conversation itself and see where you or y'all, or if it's like more than one person, if you're like talking to someone else and not just yourself, you're going to have to see where you can go from there when it comes to communication. But we'll get further in that in just a second once we get into some more cards. We also have the card New Moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So just with that card connection with the communication is key. I feel like the communication that you're going to be having with someone else is probably going to be a tough conversation that you're going to have. It may be something that is kind of limiting in a way, like you can barely like say what you need to say to this person or about this situation. And I feel like once you take a step back, like with this meditate and contemplate, once you take a step back and actually start to, instead of rushing in head first, and take your emotions out of it and start to communicate from a respectful standpoint, I feel like that's when all of the hard work that you're having with this person or with this situation is going to start to pay off for the better, because you're taking a different point of view. You're balancing out your emotions with your emotional standpoint versus what is actually happening and actually going on in the physical. And I feel like the communication is the first step to this hard work or situation paying off and working out for the better, if that makes sense. We also have emotions are running high, super moon, just like I said just a second ago. Like I said, you're going to be finding that balance with your emotions and actually not letting your emotions you're going to be finding, I like that card right there. You're going to be finding a balance with your emotions and not letting your emotions rule everything that you have going on. So these two cards have a lot of water energy, but this is an air. Gemini is an air sign about thoughts, communication. Capricorn is a earth sign, more like grounded, taking action and things like that. So I feel like that's the balance that you need to find, like between your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical. It's like that balance where you need to be finding in your life. We also have a full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So I feel like with this card, fiery climax approach, I feel that card is basically kind of connected with the hard work is paying off. Like I feel like you're going to be getting to the peak of this situation that you're going through, and you're going to start to find solutions to your problems. You're going to start to find ways to get through your problems. But I feel like just with these emotions are running high, you're going to be experiencing a lot of emotions coming to the surface, maybe emotions that you haven't felt in a very long time. And once you learn how to work through and balance these emotions, that's when you're going to start to see the brighter side of things. That's when you're going to start to see how things can work out for the better. And I feel like once you, like at the peak of this, is going to be some very, like, Aries is a fire sign, like hence why it's a fiery climax. There's going to be a situation that is coming to the forefront this full moon in Leo, which Leo is also a fire sign. So there's going to be a situation that's coming to the forefront, and it's going to seem way bigger than what it actually is, because your emotions are running so high. Like the situation that you're experiencing is going to seem like something that you can barely control, or something that you know what I'm saying, like something that you can't avoid, or not like avoid, but it's going to feel like something that's out of your control, like because your emotions are running high. And when you're in that moment, what I want you to do is just not think about the emotional standpoint. Think with your head and not with your heart. When it comes to this situation, find that balance with your emotions and your head and your emotions. Like find that balance with your thoughts and your emotions. And sometimes it's okay to act on emotion, but a lot of times it's not the best thing to do is to act on emotions, because you'll notice when you act on emotions, sometimes without thinking clearly or communicating clearly, you'll end up in a situation that was worse than when you started it. So I hope that makes sense. I don't really know if it does. Okay, we also have a waning moon. What do you need to release? And just a simplest way to put it is, I feel that you guys need to release this want for some reason I was going to say want for control, so maybe that is a message for someone, maybe at least releasing the want for control, but also just releasing those emotions that you've been bottling up for so long. Like, just release it and let it go, let it be what it is, and don't allow certain emotions to you know what I'm saying, keep you stuck where you are, because like I said, your hard work is going to pay off. Everything that you're working for as far as your emotional standpoint is going to start to work out for the better. So I would just say, I like this better right there. Okay, I'm so like extra with my cards looking like super pretty for some reason. So basically, I feel, just for this first portion of your reading, I feel that you guys need to release control over how you feel about certain situations, and just find that balance between your communication and these emotions. Like, just because you feel hurt and you feel, you know, sadness about or certain emotion about a certain situation doesn't mean that you should speak that way. Like, you shouldn't speak hurt or angry. Like, once you learn to separate your emotions from the actual conversation itself, I feel like you'll start to understand each other clearly. And this goes for like if you're talking about a person, this goes for the person too. Like, maybe you'll start to understand them a little bit more clearly once you guys stop involving your emotions in the situation. So we're going to get some more cards. This is from the I Am Keyerakaye Oracle deck. So the first card we have for that is Confidence. And with the card Confidence, I feel like just having the confidence to, you know, talk to this person without feeling shame, or, you know, just having the confidence to be more vulnerable without being so angry is another thing that I can see. It's just that when I say like not expressing your emotion, I mean like the painful emotions, but it's okay to be vulnerable in that same sense, if that makes any sense. Just being confident to feel what you feel, but not allowing it to overrun how you feel. And like, if you feel angry or hurt, it's okay to feel that way, but like I said, you don't have to speak that way or think that way about yourself. Just having the confidence to be vulnerable without feeling like you're weak is something that you can take into consideration this full moon. We also have the card Pleasure for the sign Taurus. I feel like you guys need to start getting back to a place of finding pleasure in feeling good emotions. Maybe people have been trying to come into your life and you've been blocking them off because you don't want to feel a certain way again, or you're afraid that you will feel certain feelings, or you're afraid that if you let certain people in that you will get the same scenarios that you had before. I feel that if you start to allow yourself to experience new emotions, and releasing the fact that you can't control how someone treats you, but you can't control how you react, I feel that once you get to a place of being confident in your own emotions, you will start to get the pleasure of allowing people to love you again, and allowing yourself to love you again, and not being afraid to, you know, I'm trying to see where this is going for you guys. Confidence. You'll start to see a shift in the way you love yourself and the way you allow other people to love you once you release the fear of the negative emotions, the hurt, the pain, the loss, the sadness, the grief, you know, etc. Like, you'll start to, once you release that, you'll start to experience the love, the joy, the appreciation, just everything on the positive side of the spectrum of feeling sadness and loss and grief and etc. So you'll start to experience the positive things once you release these negative emotions that you've experienced throughout your life, or throughout these situations that you've been experiencing. We also have doors opening. So like just stated previously, the doors I feel like that are going to be opening for you is just the doors of new opportunities and the door of, you know, I feel like honestly what the thought that just came in my head is like the door is opening for someone else new to come into your life. And I feel like there's some work that you need to do for yourself mentally and emotionally, which is why we have the two Pisces cards, which is balance, spirituality, practicality, and meditate and contemplate. I feel like once you balance your inner world, doors will start opening for you and someone's going to come through it. It's not going to be what you expect it to be, because you're probably at a place where you don't expect anything from anyone, or you don't expect certain people to show up in your life. And I feel like there's going to be a time where you least expect it, it's going to be someone that's going to come through for you. And hold on, let me reset this camera. I feel like there's going to be a person that comes through. And we also have the card happiness is always around you. We have happiness is always around you. Like I was stating before, like finding the pleasure in your life again, finding the good things in life instead of focusing on the bad, like releasing that bad energy or that bad the I'm stuttering, the emotions that you keep bottled up, like release that this full moon. This full moons are all about releasing. So this is a full moon in Leo. So what I'm saying is like release these emotions that you've been clinging on to. And sometimes I feel like we cling on to emotions from the simple fact of being comfortable with that emotion. And you may think to yourself like, oh, why would I be comfortable with feeling hurt? You'll be surprised how long you'll cling on to emotion just because you're so used to feeling that emotion that you don't know how to let it go. And with this full moon, I feel that you should let that emotion go in order to start to experience something better. You start to experience being confident and pleasure and new people coming into your life and experiencing happiness again. Let's get these up. So we do have the Vanessa Samina Pastel Journey tarot deck. So I'm going to get some of these cards out as well. So we do have the Queen of Wands. There's a lot of fire energy. Well, there's like all the signs in here basically. We have earth, fire, water, and air all throughout your reading. But with the wands, I feel like what the hard work is paying off, the Capricorn, new moon in Capricorn, and connectivity with the Queen of Wands, I feel like you're going to start to get this spark of creation after following this full moon, simply because you're releasing old baggage. You ever hear the saying that you can't receive if you don't allow, or you don't, what is this? It's not like, I don't know the exact saying, but you basically can't be open to receive if you're holding on to things from the past. Like if you have a bunch of clutter in your room, you're not going to be open to receiving new things into your room until you clear out the old junk. Or even just in life, you're not going to be open to receiving new things into your life until you release the old things to your life. So releasing these emotions and this baggage is what's going to open the new doors for you when it comes to your life and your creativity. Maybe you've been feeling blocked creatively, and I can honestly say that is me. I definitely been feeling blocked with my creativity, and I feel like I've released a lot before the new year started. And I feel like that's going to be you following this full moon. You're going to be releasing things. You're going to start to feel more confident to go after what you want. You're going to start to allowing more pleasurable things into your life, love and happiness and joy, and just allowing other people into your life. Oh, we also have the Ten of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment. This is satisfaction. This is getting that white picket fence and just being satisfied in your emotions. I feel like you guys, once you get to the place of releasing, like I just said, you're gonna have this. You're gonna have abundance flowing in your life emotionally. Like you're gonna feel so good, and that's why I think that pleasure card is coming out for you, because you're gonna feel so good. You're gonna be happy. Like this card, just to kind of explain this card for you guys, because this is, if you are new to my channel, this is your first time watching a video, this is the I Am Keyerakaye Oracle deck. As you can see, these pictures on these photos are me, and when I created this deck, I used pictures that represented certain areas of my life, and I made quotes to represent those areas of my life as well. Or I made the quotes and then I connected them with a picture basically. And with this picture right here, happiness is always around you. I look so young and youthful because I just graduated high school at the time, and I was so just happy. Like I didn't have stress. I didn't have heartbreak, heartache, or anything like that. I was just so freaking happy at this time. And when I made this card, I just made it as a reminder that no matter where I'm at in life, I'm still her. And this happiness is always around me. So that's why I made this card. And the reason I'm saying this is because once you release and let go, you'll get back to a you that was the happiest in your life. Like, you'll get back to that person eventually. And you won't have all that baggage. You'll learn the lessons of having the baggage, but you'll be back to the place of just being happy and experiencing pleasure and just allowing love and light and all that stuff into your life without feeling like you don't deserve it, if that makes sense. So we do have the Eight of Cups that also came through. The Eight of Cups is also emotional. Eight of Cups is also about emotion. So walking away from something emotionally. As you can see, she's walking away from all her 8 cups that she probably poured into for years and years. But the fact that she's walking away symbolizes that she no longer needs that baggage with her. And that's why I feel like you guys are releasing that. You're releasing those old emotions to start something fresh and to start something new. And the card that's missing between these two, between the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, is the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is what some people call the wish card. I don't necessarily call it the wish card, but I guess it's symbolized as a wish card, like the Make-A-Wish card. And I feel like you guys walking away from this is going to lead you to that 9 of Cups energy, even though that card is not in this reading. But you're going to get to this cup. You have to go. The tarot is a journey, so you're going to go from 8 to 9 to 10. So in order to get here, you're going to get what you've been wishing for. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. We also have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is like the teacher. Basically, like, I feel like this is more of you learning the lessons of what you went through and not allowing old past mistakes or what you left behind to get in the way of what you have coming forward. And I feel like there's different meanings to the Hierophant, but in this particular reading, I feel like it's about you learning that lesson and only having to learn it once, or maybe even this is probably your second time learning it. But I feel like this is going to be the last time that you're going to experience this type of emotions, because you're gonna know how to handle it from this day forward, if that makes sense. And we also have the Hermit. All right, so with the Hermit, and it's so crazy because I literally said the 9 of Cups was missing, and we get the Hermit, which is represented by the number 9. But with the Hermit card, I feel that you guys are taking some time to go within yourself to figure out what is going on with you in order to get the best of you. So in order to get this confidence, this pleasure, this happiness, this doors opening for you, the 10 of Cups, and just fulfillment and abundance, you're going to have to go within, see what you have learned, leave everything and release everything that you no longer need, and move forward with the lessons that you have learned without the baggage of those emotions. Just like the Hermit is about, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of hermit mode, just being in your shell, being in your bubble. I think of a turtle. So just going back into your shell and, reflecting on the things that you went through. And I feel like once you guys come out of that after this full moon, you're going to come out 10 times harder. You're going to come out way stronger than what you were when you went in. And it's going to allow you to appreciate the happiness and the abundance that's going to be coming your way. But that is what I have for you this full moon in Leo. I hope you did enjoy this reading. If this reading resonated with you, make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know how so. And I will catch you in another reading or in an upcoming video. I upload every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. And of course, you do not want to miss this amazing content. But that is what I have for today's video. And I will see you in another one. Thanks so much for watching.